But if you told me 20 years ago that I could get something like this, because of the fact that I would never in my wildest dreams own a plastic reel. Well, hey YouTube, Captain Dave here in the Wolf Den. I'm going to take this moment to show you something, and I don't know, I've talked about it before. This right here, I've showed him before when I first got them. For like $30-something, I got these reels off of Temu and AliExpress. I can't remember, one or the other. And these are SEASIR, S-E-A-S-I-R. SEASIR, if you can read it right there, Mansory. And it says carbon fiber. 7.3 to 1 gear ratio. I put these handles on. These are aftermarket handles that are supposedly layered carbon fiber. Who the heck knows, but they're extremely light. Alright, I had this reel apart, and yesterday I was out and I noticed, this is the first issue I've ever had with these reels. I just noticed that the whole drive shaft here coming out of the reel seemed kind of sloppy. Well, I was getting that out of this one. So what I did is I took it apart and I found inside that holds this shaft 2 screws. This bump right here, that bump, that's where the shaft goes in and sits in a cup, if you're familiar with how these bait casters are built. And then what it is, it has like a washer plate over it with a screw on each side to hold it nice and stiff. And there's bearings in there, and that's where the whole washer stack is for the drag. That is the only issue I've had with these reels so far. And I mean, I use them. I actually prefer these reels for casting jig heads and stuff, because these have those with the orange seal on them. Let's see if you can see it here. The orange seal right there. Ceramic ball bearings. I'm telling you, the casting ability of these is way up there. I mean, these just cast so good. Lightweights. They cast lightweight, very, very good. So I was in here cleaning them up after I took them apart, or took this one apart, and I tightened up the interior screws on the frame here. And that's all I had to do. I haven't tightened this up yet. Ticking drag, the centrifugal here, ticking adjustment, magnetic, and these will cast, literally, it's unbelievable, 4 and 8 grams. 4 and 8 grams. These will cast. Now I've got it spooled up, I believe, here with 12-pound. It might be like 12-pound 4-stranded braid. These come with what I call an old wiffle spool, shallow spool with a bunch of holes in it. This is the deep spool, and I still believe it's ported and everything. There you can see the ball bearing orange sealed ceramic bearings on the spool. But if you told me 20 years ago that I could get a reel that's all plastic, I'm going to call it plastic because what is carbon fiber? I mean, It's just, whatever. I don't know if it's carbon fiber. They throw those terms around like crazy. Nah, this frame it's not metal. But if you told me 20 years ago that I could get something like this and it would actually work for me, I would be like, you're full of it. Because of the fact that I would never in my wildest dreams own a plastic reel. But it's got the swing away side plate that stays on. That's like a Shimano trait right there. They add those ceramic bearings, which makes it cast so good. Everything clicks. It doesn't weigh hardly anything. And it's high speed, 7.3 to 1 gear ratio. As I've said in other videos, the handle that comes with it is a total Tinker Toy garbage. So I added this handle. I believe this handle costs about 12 bucks. You can sort of find them on eBay. I got these at one point off of Temu or AliExpress. You go back and you look now and they want, $70 shipping. They're trying to make up for all their tariff stuff. So I've pretty much given up on all that. But there is a seller on eBay that sells these handles up to 140 millimeter. These right here is like a 110. That's from here to here. I like big handles with the EVA foam, the bearings in there. It's just an unbelievable reel that I originally paid 30 something bucks for. Maybe 33, maybe 38, 35. It was 30 something. Yeah, I mean, you look at the Star Drag here and it's real plasticky looking. But for throwing jigs, light jigs, 3/8 down to 1/8 jig heads with, let's say like this, with a matrix shad soft plastic on it, is my go-to bait. And actually that color, which is called Green Hornet. You just can't beat it. Now, I've owned reels like the Daiwa Ryogas and Stees and whatever, all bunch of Daiwas. Right now I've got blue Daiwa Coastal T-Wing system reels. I had to send those back because they weren't casting. I had to box them up and send them to California, the Daiwas, because I couldn't cast even close to 100 feet with those. And here at the same time, I'm getting these from China, okay, for 30 something bucks. And these are casting a 4-gram little casting bob that I made, probably 120 feet, 110 feet. From my front door to my mailbox across the street. And they hold up in salt water. That's the incredible thing about it. So, like many people, I'm just trying to let you know what works. I've had these for quite a while now. I've had these, I don't know, since last October, November, something like that maybe. They haven't skipped a beat. I got 3 of them, and I would buy 3 more. If I can get them for 30 something bucks, I'd buy 3 more. They're on Amazon for about 43 or something. SEASIR is what it is, and Mansory is this model. They have a whole bunch of other models. They have one that is all aluminum, but I'm just kind of flabbergasted at the fact that 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, you wouldn't have caught me dead fishing a plastic reel. But I'll tell you the benefits of plastic reels, or what they call carbon fiber, whatever, is they don't corrode and they're extremely lightweight. And if they're built correctly, redfish, speckled trout, flounder, sheep's head, black drum, all the inshore saltwater species, these work just fine. So I just want to pass it on that I did have an issue. And what it was is the screws in the interior were kind of loosening up. And I know that was just from getting beat and used hard. They don't corrode. I mean, they got this one screw right in there. I was like, I had the spool in here still. And I took this screw off, and this backside screw off. And I was like, damn, how come the side won't come off? And then I said, well, look inside. And I pulled the spool out, and there's this one screw in here. So this whole side plate is really, it's really on there. And I mean, listen to that. We're talking extreme positivity here. That's what I used to say about my Daiwa Ryobas. I mean, we're talking positive, snap, snap. Actually, when I was out yesterday and I was using this reel, and I'm up in like super shallow, like 1 foot of water. And I wasn't even using the trolling motor because I didn't want to make no noise. And I'm kind of sitting there, right? And I saw a redfish, a little guy, just a little guy, come buzzing right in front of me. And I went, and then pitched and went like that. I was wondering, man, is that so loud that the dang fish right in front of me could hear it? I mean, because it was dead silent. There was no wind. It was a beautiful morning. No one was around. Tuesdays. Remember that. Tuesdays for charters. All you retired guys, that's the day that you need to go fishing. Is Tuesday mornings. But that is so loud that I thought for a second, let me clean this off. I was saying to myself, man, that's so loud. The fish could probably hear it. But I just wanted to show you these for the price. You know, there's that old saying that sometimes what you pay for it is what makes you so happy. Because you're not breaking the bank, but it gets the job done. So, all right, I'll leave you with that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.